meeting, there was a fundraiser meeting with Andy from the Tree People, and the mayor of Los Angeles spoke, and I have to say, I was really full of gratitude to be part of this event, because I noticed, wow, changes are happening. It gives a lot of hope, how you suddenly see that the cities come back to this kind of awareness, and also are ready to do reconciliation work with what we have done and caused to this planet because we did not know better. And I think we can see system changes at some places which are really, really needed. And I said it before, I feel the water like a love teacher. And what water is teaching us, for me, is so deep connected with the wisdom of community. Because where the water really comes to its natural life, you will see that at once community will appear around. And now I speak of community of all beings. And we are part of a big family, a planetarian family, and we humans should be part of nature reservation. In a way that we include ourselves again in this universal cycle of life. And that is a place where I dedicated my life. I think it started, for me, it started when I was a child, I can say. When I was a child, I still remember that I often had games where I traveled to the stars in the night, and when I came back in the day, it was an exchange between stars and the planet. And then we had the play that we stole the money of our parents out of the windows to nourish all the people who don't have food or who are hungry and who are thirsty. And then we built a big pilgrimage with them, and we had, in our vision, we walked with them to a place where there is wild nature and settled down there to build tribal wisdom. This was our game when I really was very, very young. And when I was around 15, I started to open my eyes to what is society. I'm a German person, and I faced the first time really consciously about the Second World War, and I started to ask, how can this be? Because I grew up in a very protected way. My parents were taking care for us in a beautiful way and never spoke about war. And suddenly you awake and you see the system around you, and if you start to ask the adults, the most of them said, when we asked, how could this happen? They said, we did not know. But as a young person, you know that they could have known. And I still remember when I wrote in my diary that I never ever want that my children will tell me, if they ask me, why did you do this, that I have no answer. And this brought me to this decision. I want to know how life is meant to be. And then growing up in a society where you see so much individuality, closed houses everywhere, and no real exchange, and then you see on one side this kind of consuming things, and you see the suffering part. Then I faced the war of Vietnam. We were a lot political awakening. We started to fight the system, and suddenly you notice fighting the system is no answer. So you see the same corruption, you see the same separation inside little groups, the same competition. And I had this very naive thought, and I was really committed to this with one of the co-founders of Tamara I met when I was 16, Charlie Rainer Ehrenpreis. I told, I will build a village, and I will show that another kind of loving is possible. And for me it was very connected to the question, how do we deal with all the love questions? The adults never spoke about it. It was something hidden.